everybody, I hope you're doing well. I'm Jason, the meandering Newfoundlander, and welcome to my home. You probably noticed a change in my videos lately. I went from mainly riding on my motorcycle, capturing videos as I'm riding, and then capturing some drone clips at a location while I sit back and relax on a coffee. But as you know, we're in December and things change. As some of you may already know, I suffer from PTSD, depression, anxiety, and a few other things. And I've mentioned in a previous video how the last few months have had this huge negative impact on me, and not much has changed in the last couple of weeks, and it's taking a toll, which is why I decided to make this little video. Because the last few months, I feel almost as if I've been late for a flight every single moment of the day. I'm late for a flight. But the severity of the anxiety got so bad the last probably month or so, is that I constantly feel like I'm dying. I feel like I've been told the news by a doctor that you have a month to live, and that's kind of where my mind is gone right now, and it's not in a good place, so my videos are going to be reflective on that. In fact, some of you who've been around for a while might even notice that some of the videos I've shared lately are actually older videos. I've just updated them slightly, edited them a little bit, and added some more current music as to the soundtrack of it. In addition to not getting out and making current videos, everything has fallen to the side. All of my chores that I have to do around the house, my tasks, anything that needs to be done has been totally pushed under the table or under a rug somewhere. Under a rug, hopefully, so you can't see the dirt. The crazy thing is, some of these chores aren't complicated. They don't require much of a thought process. And yet I put some chores off for 6 months, a year. There's some I haven't done in about 3 years or so, and it's probably just a 5-minute job. But it's like climbing a mountain is how it feels. And it's the same way right now about getting out and getting videos. I just don't have the inspiration or motivation in me to do it. And it's frustrating. It's hard because creating content is something that has become a bit of a crutch for me, an outlet. It's like meditation, it's mindful. I mean, when you sit down and you're doing meditation, you're taking these deep breaths, you're focused on your breathing, you're focused on the words or the sounds or the sights. And it's the same thing when I'm making a video. I get lost in the process. You almost end up entering this flow state, and it's an amazing feeling when it does happen, but I just can't find it lately, and I'm having a very hard time trying to find that creativity, that creative spark again. One of the things that I try to do are those things that I know that are usually not exciting, but inspiring or motivating for me. I tend to force myself to try and do that. Like right now, I'm out here in the freezing cold because it does something to my body and mind. I don't know what it is, but it kind of kickstarts something. So I'm going to fly my drone for a few minutes and see if that helps me. Well, I made it back safe and sound. I gotta say, it was definitely worth going out, because the whole entire time I was out there, it was a nice welcome break. And I think that break happened basically because I was sitting there with my controller in my hand, flying my drone, and I was so caught up in that moment and so focused on not crashing it and also trying to find something to take a photo of that my mind is too busy and focused to get anxious over anything, because it's not even an option at that point unless I just blank out totally and have a panic attack, which luckily wasn't the case. So sitting out in the cold, freezing my hands off, everything else was pretty good except my hands, was worth it. It was nice, and the cold I find actually helps with me and my mindfulness process, because that sensation of being cold is something that I tend to be drawn towards, not in a bad way. I learned to accept the cold and embrace it even, and I focus on the cold, and it becomes I don't know, just a nice warm experience. So it was great. Plus you throw in the beautiful sunset that was happening while I was sitting there, and that was the whole reason I got inspired to go out. Was I was watching the sun start to creep down towards the horizon through my window, and I said, I got to get out with my drone and try to catch some video. And the anxiety was holding me back, but I pushed myself today really hard, and I think it was because I felt like I needed to get a video made. And it's a weird feeling, even though this is YouTube and I don't know anybody that watches these videos other than myself and my mom. My mom likes to watch them too. So I don't understand the sense of urgency that I feel in getting a video ready. It just doesn't make sense to me. And of course I understand that with general anxiety disorder, that it's not the YouTube making video or YouTube video making pressure that's causing the anxiety. The anxiety's there, and depending on whatever it is I'm focused on in this instant, that will be the blame of my anxiety. So making a YouTube video, that's the blame, because that's what I was thinking about at the time when my anxiety was peaking. And I do that with everything and blame things that shouldn't be blamed for it. But anyway, back on track. The sunset was beautiful, and it was worth just to watch it go down. So now that I'm back, I have noticed the anxiety slowly coming back. But I did it today, and I got to keep reminding myself that I did get out today and use my drone, because I was terrified. I honestly was terrified to use my drone. I just imagine people watching me, critiquing me, judging me, which I have no idea why I'd think that, but that's where my head goes. And anyway, I pushed myself hard today and got out, so I'm happy with that. And I'm going to try to remind myself that throughout the next few days that I did accomplish this. And I know I'm dragging this that way too long. I think it's probably because I just medicated too, because one of the other ways that I cope with my depression and anxiety and PTSD is through cannabis. So I medicated just before this video. Explains a lot, doesn't it? The important thing to remember here is that I'm feeling better right now in this moment, and that's what I pushed myself. That's why I pushed myself today, was to try and feel this little bit of relief, satisfaction. I don't know what you'd call it, a reprieve, I guess, a little break, a hiatus. Anything else? Any other names you want to call it? But it was a good break, and I know what's coming back, and but I also now I know that all I got to do is just go out and hit record and do some editing, and I'll feel a little bit better. I will stop boring you now and sign off. So thank you for bearing with me today in this video as I went from just wanting to throw things to being in a pretty relaxed state right now. So this worked. This video worked. It worked for me. That's what's important to me right now. And hopefully something came out, you guys got something out of it too at some point. Maybe it was in the beginning. Maybe it was the video of the sunset, who knows? Whatever it is. If something made you smile or feel inspired, then that's perfect. Anyway, take care. Talk to you later.